After this video, you won't just feel informed, you'll feel reorganized. Because 99% of people live their entire lives inside a broken learning system and never realize it. They keep upgrading tools, switching techniques, chasing motivation, blaming discipline, blaming time, blaming their past, blaming their intelligence, but they never question the architecture inside which their mind is operating. And if the architecture is wrong, effort only accelerates confusion. That's the part no one wants to accept. Most people are not behind because they are lazy. They are behind because they are misconfigured. Once you see that learning itself has layers, priorities, and hidden leverage points, you stop feeling small in front of complexity. Complexity stops being intimidating the moment it becomes visible. Imagine walking into any new domain: business, psychology, combat sports, coding, strategy, philosophy, and instead of feeling that subtle tightening in your chest, that pressure that says, others probably get this faster than me, you feel nothing. No rush, no fear, just a quiet sense of orientation, like entering a room you've never been in, but immediately knowing where the exits are, where the power sits, where the weak points are. That calm is not confidence from ego. That calm comes from structure. People who move fast mentally don't feel fast inside. They feel slow, deliberate, almost detached. Speed is a side effect, not the goal. This is not about becoming smarter. Raw intelligence without structure is wasted force. It's like having a powerful engine with no transmission. This is about becoming dangerous with your mind, because dangerous minds don't memorize more. They discard more. They don't chase information. They interrogate it. They don't drown in detail. They compress reality into usable forms. And the moment you understand this, learning stops being emotional and starts becoming mechanical in the best way possible. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The reason most subjects feel heavy is not because they are deep. It's because they are being fed to your brain without hierarchy. Your brain is not designed to treat all inputs equally. When it's forced to, it rebels. It creates fatigue, resistance, boredom, and eventually self-doubt. You think you're bad at learning, but what's actually happening is that your mind is trying to protect itself from noise, and modern education is optimized for noise. It rewards coverage, not clarity, completion, not command. Most people learn like hoarders. They collect notes, screenshots, bookmarks, saved videos, highlights, PDFs, courses they never finish. Their sense of progress comes from accumulation. But accumulation is not growth. Accumulation is weight. Mental weight slows reaction time, kills confidence, and creates the illusion that you almost understand something without ever crossing the line into control. That's why people reread the same material for years and still hesitate to act. Their mind is cluttered, not trained. Fast learners behave differently. They are editors before they are students. They assume most information is useless until it proves otherwise. This assumption alone rewires everything. It gives you permission to ignore. And ignoring is a superpower in an age of overload. When you stop respecting information just because it exists, your brain finally has room to breathe. The foundation of fast learning is judgment, not curiosity, not enthusiasm. Judgment, the ability to decide what matters before you decide what to understand. Every dangerous mind approaches a new topic asking one question first. What problem does this solve, and what kind of thinking does it demand from me? Not what is it about, but why does it exist? This immediately separates signal from noise. 2 minutes is enough. Anything that cannot reveal its purpose quickly is either badly designed or not meant for you right now. Once a subject earns the right to stay, compression begins. This is where speed is born. You don't wait for clarity, you impose it. You decide what the core principles are, even if you're not fully sure yet. You decide how those principles interact with reality. You decide where they break. Accuracy comes later. Frames come first. The human brain is exceptional at filling gaps once a frame exists, but it is terrible at creating frames from scattered pieces. Schools give you pieces and hope you figure it out. Fast learners reverse the process. They build a rough map and let information snap into place. That's also why they appear confident early. Confidence is not knowledge. Confidence is orientation. Now comes the part almost everyone 6'5" misunderstands. Questions. Most people ask questions to feel involved. Dangerous minds ask questions to force leverage. When you ask, "What is this?" you get trivia. When you ask, "When does this matter?" you get power. When you ask, "What decision does this change?" you get control. Your brain is a problem-solving machine. If you don't give it problems, it shuts down. Idle brains forget. That's why writing a few sharp questions before learning anything changes everything. Your mind suddenly has a mission. Information stops floating and starts locking into place. Anything that doesn't serve that mission disappears automatically. Then comes application, the point where learning becomes irreversible. Not perfect application, not big application. Small, immediate, imperfect action. This is where most people lie to themselves. They think understanding is mental agreement. It's not. Understanding that cannot survive action is just familiarity. When you apply something, even badly, your brain receives feedback. Feedback creates correction. Correction creates depth. 10 minutes of application can outperform 10 hours of passive intake because it forces reality to push back. Fast learners also design learning to feel safe. They lower the cost of being wrong. They don't tie identity to correctness. They tie it to adjustment speed. That's why they experiment more, and experimentation is the fastest learning mechanism humans possess. Another silent killer of learning speed is energy. When energy collapses, filters collapse. Everything starts looking important. And when everything looks important, nothing is understood. Dangerous minds protect cognitive energy fiercely. Short sessions, clear exits. They stop before exhaustion. They leave with clarity, not depletion. After learning, compression happens again. One sentence, one image, one analogy. If you cannot compress, you don't own it yet. Compression is ownership. Complexity impresses others. Simplicity proves mastery. You don't need talent to learn fast. Talent is a myth used to protect broken systems. You don't need motivation. Motivation spikes and crashes. Systems endure. You don't need depth immediately. Depth without structure creates confusion. Depth after structure creates dominance. This is what fast learning actually looks like in reality. Calm entry, quick judgment, rough structure, sharp questions, small test, compression, exit, repeat, no drama, no overwhelm, no grind. Over time, patterns across domains begin to overlap. Structures repeat, decisions rhyme. People start calling you gifted. You'll know the truth. You didn't become special. You stopped being inefficient. At the end of this, do one thing. Pick one skill that actually matters in the next 90 days, not 10. 1. Apply this system today. Judge it, structure it, question it. Apply something small. Compress it. Repeat for 1 week. Measure outcomes, not hours. If you do this honestly, you won't feel hype. You'll feel control, and control is addictive. This channel does not exist to make you feel good. It exists to make you precise. Motivation fades, precision compounds. Stop trying to learn more. Start learning correctly. Subtract what doesn't matter. Structure what remains.